In the next 20 minutes, I'm going to show you this new digital sales opportunity that can net you bottom line profit 10 to 50K a month within the next 90 to 180 days, okay? And I know that sounds too good to be true. Way too good to be true, but I'm gonna show you, I guarantee in the next 10 minutes that it is not, okay? And if you're watching this, you're probably either someone that's currently in sales and feels underpaid and overworked for their skill level, okay? Or you're someone who's just looking into creating an online income and you may or may not have any experience, which is fine. And you've probably been bombarded with different opportunities to make money online, right? Whether that's other sales positions or business models like dropshipping, Amazon FBA, trading, doing an agency, whatever it may be. Well, the problem with all of those opportunities that you see online, and this is factual, is that they either require full-time commitment, big capital for products, etc., or you to learn many different skills, right, when starting any of those businesses, right? Or essentially, bottom line, that you have to start an entire business. Now, if we're talking about other sales positions, and maybe you are already in sales, but you're underpaid and overworked, then you're basically usually dealing with a position that does not give you residual income, right? You just only get one-off checks, which makes you have to chase the next deal continuously. Very limited growth opportunity, and you're always fully dependent on the company's marketing for your growth, right? Best case scenario is you become like a sales manager or you lead the department, but even then, right, it's dependent on the company, how many people you can lead and how much of a percentage you can get from that team, right? And that once again comes down to their marketing. And those companies can go up and down and sideways, right? Don't have a guaranteed manager position. You're always still trading your time for money to some extent. So there's zero guarantee that you're actually going to be able to go into some manager position where you're in a more leveraged position and you're not just trading your time for money, but other people's time, because that's the way to grow in your sales without doing more work, right? And lastly, you don't have any long-term exit potential where you can literally get a retirement fund. You can never exit this business or sell your contracts or sell the deals that you closed or whatever. There's no real long-term plan. It's just a short-term cash flow thing usually. But what I'll show you today is a position where you get a high upfront cash, right? And residuals for every contract, every deal that you close. Additionally, you get a guaranteed team building opportunity into semi-passive income, into a more leveraged position so that you're not just trading your time for money. Exit potential of your list of contracts after a couple of years. Now that's a long-term play, but that can literally go into your retirement funds. And obviously completely remote, your own schedule. I'm currently in Medellin, Colombia, as you might be able to tell, and you have full autonomy to run it the way that you want. So really what it comes down to, guys, what I'm gonna show you today, has the benefits of being paid and having the benefits of a business, but without the risks and downsides of one, okay? So on top of that, what I'll show you today is a new life. And I mean that very seriously. A newfound confidence, a new social circle and lifestyle. You're becoming a new person entirely because you're getting a whole new ecosystem that I'm about to introduce you to. Now, I'll show you also how to get a guaranteed placement in a sales role with guaranteed earnings within 90 days of 10K a month, or we work with you until you do that, okay? So here's some examples of people that have actually done that, because I don't want to just be making claims here. And you can look all these people up. If you scroll below this video, you're going to be able to see these interviews. And here's Trevor, who's just getting started, 12K a month. Here's Jonathan, 25K a month. Kevin, 24K a month, and actually already further than that. Nick, who does 40 to 50K a month, right? So there's serious proof in the pudding here. Now, I'm going to show you the 3 steps to actually get into this and generate an online remote income of 10K a month plus in the next 90 days. Now, when I say 10K a month, guys, that's just the first bullseye for the next 90 days. If someone works with us, if you don't get to 10K a month within 90 days, there's something seriously wrong. Okay, so that's just a hygiene standard. Yet I'm keeping it realistic here and starting with that first goalpost, and then we grow further. Because with this position, it's not a linear growth because of all the things that I'm about to tell you. It is an actual exponential growth because you start getting people under you, etc. Okay, so the first thing that is very highly important for you, whether you're already in sales or you're looking into it, is the opportunity. The biggest determiner of your success in sales is actually not going to be your skills. It's going to be the opportunity that you are in, because it's not really about how hard you row if you're in the wrong boat, okay? So most people, they grind away in jobs like selling door-to-door, cars, charity, pest control, or even high-ticket coaching sales, where once again, that's a decent position. You can make 10, 20K a month or more, but once again, you're always chasing the next deal. You never have any future potential. You're always gonna have a packed calendar every single day. So once again, I know every single opportunity, every single position, right? And actually, as a matter of fact, I started out in sales too. As you can see in this picture, I started out in door-to-door specifically, selling charity, selling newspapers. I'm from Amsterdam originally, okay? Going through, the damn winter season in Amsterdam, which is not fucking pretty at all, I can tell you that one. But look, I just want to also tell you, you don't know who I am yet, right? So I'll tell you a couple things of how I came to find this, just for it to make sense for you of why this is the best space and best industry. Because I actually ran multiple different businesses, and I have a documentary in my home country, which was because of my success. I made a couple million before 21, okay? And they made a documentary about me for that. I'm featured on various websites. Here's a couple screenshots of my earnings, etc. And if you want to connect with me, by the way, you can do so here. You can find me on Instagram at Boyd Hook, and you can find me on YouTube at Boyd Real, okay? And you can see all my videos, and all the proof is in the pudding once again. But before all of that success, you guys, and I don't want to go on about myself too long, but just to make the point here, I was just an insecure kid, okay? I was stuck in the matrix, stuck in the standard path that's forced upon us, right? And essentially, at some point, I was in high school, and I did my little door-to-door gig on the side, right? But obviously, it wasn't scalable. And honestly, I was just escaping my life every weekend, because deep down, I knew it was meant for more. And I always say, if you're a fucking man or a woman even watching this video, then if you feel a slight emptiness inside you where you like, I have this energy, but I don't know where to put it, and maybe you're engaging in vices or in distractions or whatever it may be, then that's because you haven't found a purpose that's truly worth committing your all to. And I hope I can introduce you to that today, because that'll be the most life-changing thing I can do for you. And so one day I came across an ad on YouTube that showed me how to build a marketing business and whatnot. And I had a choice to make right there, right? I could either say like, okay, I found out about this stuff, but I'm just gonna ignore it and not do it. Or I can actually say, accept reality, take it for what it is, and then take a leap into discomfort to actually get a new and better life. And my body said no, but my higher mind said, yes, I have to do this. So essentially, I dropped out of high school at 18, and I started my first company, a marketing agency, which all of that worked, right? I got it to 10K a month within, about 6 months. And then after that, I grew to 25K a month. But here's my point, right? For my companies, I had to start a business, learn and do sales, speak with business owners, learn coaching, learn advertising, accounting, create content, create a product or service, run ads, a whole load of things. But look, if you're a beginner entrepreneur or you're already in sales, then you essentially just want to have to focus on learning one simple skill. And that is the most important skill in life, right? So if you're not in sales yet, right, sales is actually the skill that all the billionaires, or most of them, most of the really successful people, all started out in some form of sales, because it sets the foundation for anything else that needs to happen in life to become successful, because you have to communicate your ideas, right? And here you can see a couple of screenshots confirming that. So most hyper successful ones started out in sales. And today I'm showing you the best sales position that you can be in, bar none, right now. I and my business partner, Nick, we know every single position. Nick has done solar, door-to-door, windows, whatever. I have done door-to-door, high-ticket sales, all of it, okay? And we're showing you the best position, just looking at objective facts here, okay? And that's digital sales. Now, you've probably heard of digital sales before, right? And that is high-ticket coaching, being in an appointment center. All that. This is not that, okay? This is a more specific type of digital sales, okay? And the biggest thing is in this position, guys, besides the benefits I mentioned earlier in this video, is that we sell something that every person literally has to have. People want and need this, okay? So if that's the case, then you don't really need to be that good at sales to make it work, right? Because if people already want it and people already need it, then you are more so an advisor than a salesperson, right? It's just about connecting people with the right offer. And that is called life insurance, okay? Now, if you know about life insurance, then I can tell you this. There's life insurance done bad and there's life insurance done right, okay? It's all about the way that you set it up, because there's many people in life insurance that try to sell to people that never said they wanted it, never said they needed it, whatever. We only set up our systems in a way that we only talk to the people that raised their hands, said, I want and need specifically life insurance, okay? And then we just take them through the options that they need, okay? So we run the Expedia model, which essentially means that we're a brokerage where, basically you help the client select between a list of different providers and give them the best option. Just like on Expedia, you can go and select the different airlines. If you only could sell American Airlines, and sometimes the prices are dog shit, as we all know, then it's not going to work out. You're going to have to just push something that's not actually the optimal option. That's a big difference, okay? Now, when I say insurance, people usually have a disdain, as let's be honest, those are usually annoying, right? But within life insurance, you're actually helping people get their family insured, and it's very different than other types of insurance where people have to grind to get their actual money. This is obviously different, right? And everybody wants to protect their family, because most people don't have 10, 15K laying around for a funeral, or money laying around to provide for their kids if they happen to pass away. And from your perspective, a big thing here is that with salespeople, one of the biggest problems that you encounter is that every single month you're starting at zero. Right? Even if you have a nice cash flowing 20, 30K a month position, whatever, then still you're starting every month at zero. You're having to grind, you're having a packed calendar to do the same the next month. and you're never building a list of contracts. You're never building a list of passive income. You're never building residuals. But with life insurance, because it's life insurance, it stays on for life, right? Usually. Then you create residual income from every contract you close. Okay, so you actually build something up where even if you want to take a month off and travel, you make a full-time income that month, okay? Obviously, it's gonna be way less than what you would make if you're actively producing, right? Let's not kid ourselves here, right? But you're gonna still make a very decent amount if you've built it up. It gets even better. Once you get good and you start making life-changing income, you can even build your own sales team under you. And this is what I said with the guaranteed manager position, okay? So just like any normal sales manager would, you will get a percentage of what your team produces, right? In normal sales manager positions, you get like 2 or 3% of what the team produces in like an info company, education. I personally done millions in education. I had a big sales team myself. I structured it this way as well. It's very normal. It's basically semi-passive income, okay? I like to say semi-passive because obviously you're still managing people, but you're not spending your own time, you're spending other people's time, and you're just managing and leveraging that. So you gotta understand that this literally creates unlimited motivation, okay? Because you know, deep down, that you're working towards the point where you're making more with less work, okay? That doesn't mean that you have to work less or that you want to work less, okay? Personally, I'm a very hard worker and I love to work hard, but it is very nice to know that your work is paying off more, right? Not that you're just spinning your wheels for the same results, working harder and harder for the same kinds of results. No, the harder you work and the more results you get, the more disproportional results that you get on the other side. As I said, it's not linear growth, it's exponential growth, okay? And so just like any normal sales manager would, you will get paid a percentage of what your team produces. Now, a big thing you need to understand is the following. The reason that this is such a huge opportunity out there right now, and once again, me and Nick we've seen everything, is because life insurance used to have to be sold in person, okay? But when COVID happened, okay, that changed and people are doing it over Zoom or over the phone. We actually do it over the phone. And that's why it's more profitable, more easy, and more popular than ever. And once again, I'm in Medellin, Colombia right now. You can do it from wherever you want and make absolute bank whilst helping people with something they need, they want, and is good for them and their families, okay? So more importantly, that's why so few people are actually doing it, but the ones that are absolutely crushing it. And I've already introduced you to some of those people. We have dozens of them, okay? So as I said, this opportunity is the best because it's digital, location freedom, it's fully on your own schedule, time freedom, it builds residual income from every single deal that you sell, which creates that passive income over time, and you can build your own team, passive income and exponential growth over time as well. But there's one more thing, okay? And also at the end, I'm gonna show you how you can get me to build your team for you, so you don't even have to get your own people, okay? We'll literally staff them because we have a very big brand where we get a lot of agents and we're looking for leaders that we wanna create, and that's why I'm making this video for you as well, but I wanna educate you first before we get into that. There's one more thing, okay? Because once you've built a list of deals, right? You've sold a list of contracts. We call it your book of business that you get residuals from every year because they're lifelong deals. You can, at any point, once you've built it up properly, sell your book of business. Okay? And so this basically means that you sell your collection of deals and contracts that have residuals on them to a private equity company, and we connect our clients with them. Okay? Once you get to that point, but that's years down the line. Okay? So this is a long-term play, but I do want to add it because it's very motivational. Now that can literally create your retirement fund. Okay? And that's what you're working towards. It's the same as an artist who sells their catalog of music. So Justin Bieber here, right? He sold his catalog for 200 million, okay? Because obviously it continues to produce money and he gets a lump sum of money and the investors get the long-term cash flow, okay? So you're basically making music, aka closing contracts, and making instant cash, but also the residual income. And then when you feel like you want to cash out and sell your album, your list of contracts, you can do so for millions potentially if you build up a large book of business. Now let's kind of bring it back to the basics, okay? Just for you, so you can have an idea of what the average numbers are that our students get to when they follow our path. So I brought in our sales manager, Nick, who does about 40 to 50 a month, and he's going to take you through some of these numbers here.
All right, guys, so when starting out, obviously, as Boyd already went over, there's the period where you're training, where you're licensing, onboarding, all that fun stuff. But once you actually get to the phones and start making sales, this is a general average timeline and roadmap of what you're going to be looking at. Now, guys, these are average numbers. I did way more. I know many people have done way more. I also know people have done way less. A lot of this is going to be dependent on you, your effort, and how coachable you are. But let's take average numbers. Your first full month selling, you should be looking somewhere in the range of $3 to $5 grand profit on the absolute low. And guys, we only want to work with top performers, as Boyd said, but we want to be conservative with these numbers. So given that, 3 to 5K profit is an average place where you can start your first month if you're not just going to come in and start crushing it like you should. Month 2, you should be starting to creep close towards that $10,000 a month mark. As we went over, I hit well over 10K profit my first month. Know plenty other people who have. There's no reason why you shouldn't be able to. But once again, we're talking average numbers here, guys. By month 3 that you're actually full-time selling, there should be no excuse as to why you're not hitting over $10,000 in profit. Now, all that's going to come down to your work ethic, your coachability, but if you truly apply yourself and all the strategies that we put in place, by month 3, you should be hitting over 10 grand in profit. Now, guys, I'll go ahead and show you my roadmap of how it was for me coming into the industry. Now, I want to preface by saying that I came into the industry not as the best salesman ever, but I had multiple years of sales experience, and I really put my back against the wall, worked absolutely harder than everyone else. I say that to say, guys, if I can do it, absolutely you can do the exact same. You can even beat my numbers, because what Boyd might have not mentioned is that all these systems we have in place now, the training, the dialers, the leads, I didn't have any of this stuff when I started. None of it. All this was maybe 20% as efficient of what we have now in place. So guys, look, my first month, I did a little over 12 grand in profit, made about, as you could see in this deposit, over $14,000. My lead spend was about $2,000 this month, so I profited over $12,000 my very first month. The second month, we started to ramp it up a bit, 15,000, nothing too crazy in profit. By month 3, still just continuously creeping it up. I was adjusting to the industry, learning the ins and the outs. But guys, by month 4, I figured it out. I cracked the code, I learned the sales process, I learned the lead flow, I learned my routines. And every month after that, I was making over $30,000 from my 4th month on. And I want to say again, guys, this is with systems that I did not have that we're now implementing to teach you guys. So these are my numbers. If you're going to come in here to see these numbers, you can absolutely crush these numbers with everything that we have in place. Now, guys, when it comes to actually building a team, this is a whole nother side of the industry that right at the start, you probably don't need to worry about. But as you continue to scale your business, you're going to want to start to bring in agents, number 1, because you're going to make more money. And then number 2, you're going to be providing an absolutely top tier opportunity for people that you know, whether it's your friends, family members, whatever the case may be.
And as I said at the end of the video, I'm going to show you how you can actually get us to place agents automatically under you from our own pipeline. So you don't even have to get your own people. Once we get you to 10K a month, that's how our program works. That I'll tell you about at the end. But for now, Ake's going to take you through what it actually looks like in terms of profits from agents that come under you.
So guys, how this business works is when you bring somebody into the industry, you teach them, you help them, you manage them, you support them, you help make sure they're making a ton of money. Like any other business model, the people above make a small cut on what the people below actually do to produce. It's business, guys. So look, if you bring in one agent who performs at a decent level, you could expect somewhere in the ballpark of $750. Once again, guys, these are average numbers. It could be way less, it could be way higher. But as you continue to scale, as you continue to bring in more people into the business, you're going to grow your business in a way that's completely different than just your personal sales. You're going to be putting yourself in way higher leverage positions because you're going to be actually teaching people and training people and making money off all of their deals because of the value that you're providing them. So guys, this gets very crazy as you start to bring more people into the business, and then they start to bring more people into the business as well. This creates tremendous leverage for you. So as you can see, you bring 2 to 5 agents, you could be expecting 1.5 to about 4 grand, a little under, in profit per month from your agents. 5 to 15, you could be expecting 3.75 to 11.25. 20, you could be expecting about 15 grand profit per month if you bring in that many agents. Obviously, guys, as well, these agents will need to be producing. This does say passive income, and in a way it is passive income, but at the same time, it is your job to actively be providing as much value as possible, making sure all your agents are absolutely crushing it like we are doing for you guys. Guys, once you get above 30 agents, you're gonna see absolutely crazy levels of profit in terms of what you're making off of the team that you are managing. This is not including personal sales. So I recommend you continue to sell. I'm continuing to sell. Boyd's selling. We're all selling. So you should continue to sell. And this is just the numbers off of purely managing your team, not even your personal sales. The skill of life insurance sales is very simple. You don't need to worry about if you're going to start up some sort of crazy online business. You have to learn all these different skill sets of sales as well, because you're going to be selling your product. But sales, marketing, building funnels, fulfilling a product, hiring a team, all these different things, all you guys need to know how to do is sell a life insurance policy to a family that already wants a life insurance policy. Very simple communication. We have all the steps lined up in terms of the script, how to use the dialers, all these different little things. So really it's going to be about knowing how to properly communicate and then implementing the training that we have placed A to Z for you before you ever even hit the phone. So guys, like we said, we will place you into a role where you're making a ton of money with sales, but you're not even needing to hard sell, be some crazy info product salesman, reframing people's mindsets, getting huge upfront payments. All you need to do is essentially be an advisor, choose the right product for a family and actually properly explain it. And it's a very low friction sale, guys. I've sold many products in many different industries, and there is nothing as easy as selling life insurance.
And one other thing on that is that the numbers make it easy as well, because the average life insurance policy is going to be $80 a month. However, you don't get paid as commission $80 a month, right? You get paid that $80 times 12, and you get that upfronted largely, right? And so, whereas in other spaces, if you want to get a high ticket commission, you need to sell a very high ticket product, like a $10,000 product, 10% commission is $1,000, right? But here, you actually sell something for $80 a month, but you still get a way higher commission of $1,000, roundabout, a little less, right? And so that allows you to be, once again, selling much more leveraged, because it's literally, the numbers are opposite. You're selling something that's cheap, that's paid monthly, but you're getting a high commission, where in the other way around, it's selling something that's expensive and you get a lower commission, right, for that.
And going off what Boyd says, guys, if you're gonna make $1,000 commission on a high ticket product, let's say, like Boyd said, you're selling a $10,000 product to somebody who, they could use it, but they probably realistically do not absolutely need it. Whereas life insurance, it's something that people already understand that they need, they want, they already asked you to be able to help them out with it, and it's a very low cost for them. $80 a month, you're getting paid about $1,000 instead of having to sell somebody to pay you 10 grand right away.
Plus, it's something that's been around forever, and it will be around forever, because people have families, people have funerals that they can't pay for automatically, so they need to insure themselves for that.
On that note, I'll say there's 170 million people over the age of 40 in the United States. All of them need a life insurance policy, guys. This is an absolutely evergreen market. We're never gonna run out of clients. So that just leads to you being able to scale your business as high
As far as you want.
As far as you want, and it's an industry with tons of longevity,
Absolutely no limit.
AI proof, recession proof, all these different things. And all it takes, guys, you would be shocked at the level of people that are making a ridiculous amount of money in life insurance. People that are not good at sales, right? I don't even consider myself that good at sales myself, but I'm still able to make very good money every single month by learning the skill of selling life insurance and the very basic communication that goes into it. And guys, obviously we're the wolves of insurance. This is how we brand ourselves. But at the end of the day, the whole Wolf of Wall Street hard selling techniques is not what you need to do in insurance, guys. In insurance, like we said, very simple, very low friction sale. People already want it. If you do the proper steps that we line out in the script and the training, it's very rare you'll even get many objections, maybe one, maybe two objections that we teach you how to overcome, and you'll be able to make these high commissions and set up a family with a policy that's gonna help them out. As well, guys, we do not do cold calling. This is all leads who filled something out requesting life insurance. This isn't door-to-door sales like I used to do, talking to random people. This isn't completely cold outreach, just calling random people who have no interest in your product. Guys, this is people who have an expressed an interest that they want to get their family protected, and it's basically your job to be an order taker, to go through the proper steps, set them up with a policy. No crazy sales process, no insane skills needed. You need to know how to communicate, you need to know how to work hard. As we went over, guys, it's people who already raised their hand and said, I want and I need life insurance. They fill out their information, their name, their date of birth, who they want the money to go to, what they want to cover, and you just walk them through the sales process to be able to get them a policy. So guys, like we said, it's just choosing the best option for the families, and we're brokers, so think about it like this. A lot of you guys have probably used Expedia in the past to book flights. We're basically Expedia. We have an option to be able to choose from a bunch of different companies to choose the best option for the families we work with. Like we said, it's basically going from sales to order taking, to choosing that best policy for them based on their situation, explaining it to them, and getting it put in place for them and getting paid. And guys, the way that you do this is by following the exact roadmap that we've already laid out for you. There's no guesswork in this. We have the word-for-word script with all the objections you'll run into and how to overcome them. So you literally just have to be coachable, follow the script, and you'll be able to make a ton of money selling insurance. As well, guys, this job is super fun, especially when you're printing money from wherever you want with your laptop. You're just talking to people, genuinely helping them out with a problem. A lot of times in the past products that I've sold, I've had to hard sell people, and I don't personally like to do that. With insurance, you're putting something in place that actually truly benefits somebody's life. Oftentimes you'll get a text from the client after that's like, thank you so much, God bless you, this was amazing, I needed to get this taken care of. I'll have clients calling me sweetie, dear, sweetheart, all these different things and sending me hearts. They truly appreciate it, and at the end of the day, you really are truly helping them. Which goes back to the fact that we are not the hardcore salespeople shoving a product down their throat. We're literally just advising them on what's going to be the best option for their family. And I'll pass it back on to Boyd here, guys.
Now, guys, not completely unimportant is the fact that on top of advising and making a ton of cash here and being in a great community and all of that, you're also in a vehicle that teaches you personal development, that teaches you communication, and makes you an extremely confident and charismatic person, right? As you are making money, right? And so that is something that you'll literally take with you in every area of your life. That's why I said in the beginning of the video, most billionaires, most super successful people started out in some form of sales. right? Why? Because it's such a foundational skill, not just for your business and your money, but also for, you know, your relationships, your social life, right? Your general day-to-day, getting an upgrade at the airport, whatever. You're gonna learn a skill that you can take with you in every single room where there's people, okay? And so people have literally paid me in the past more than $30,000, okay, to make them confident. I have various videos on my YouTube you can check out on how to be confident and how to generally be a charismatic and attractive person around people in your social, in your dating life, all of those kinds of things. And this is something that you take with you for free whilst you're making fucking money. That's why it's the best position. Now, this is not for everybody. If you're someone, right, you probably wouldn't be watching this video then now, but if you're someone who just likes to watch spreadsheets all day and fill out numbers and not talk to anybody, this is probably not for you. But if you're someone who also values that part of your life, right, then this is something that literally has a double-edged sword effect to it, okay? Now, the third point that I want to take you through is scale, okay? So that's creating leverage and passive and residual income. So as I said, once you're through this process, you already have residual income coming in from previous sales every year, right? And you can sell your business for a heavy multiple at the end of the road, years down the line, long-term play once again. Because all sales positions have this problem that yes, you make some decent cash, but scaling is hard, okay? You can't necessarily get into a manager position, you can't necessarily get residuals on contracts, etc. The best case scenario is becoming a sales manager within a company, but even then, you're fully dependent on the company, okay? The way that we set this up with our guaranteed placement is that you can actually build your own team and agency within the company, okay? With all of our support already there. Now, this means that you'll have all the benefits of having your own company without dealing with any of the legal, logistics, company structure, etc., or those kinds of issues. And the way that this goes is usually very automatic and easy and natural, okay? Because once again, you are not even selling anything, all right? You're just giving people something that they're asking for. Now, what I mean by that is that if you're making 20K a month, and now all of a sudden you're Medellin, Colombia, or now all of a sudden you're Costa Rica, or now all of a sudden you're Europe, now all of a sudden you're flying business class, or you have a high-rise apartment, whatever it may be, your friends, your people that know you are going to see that on your social media, right? And they're going to ask you, what the hell are you up to, okay? You used to not really have it as broad, okay? And so they're going to ask you for that. And here's an example of it, right? And once they come in under you, they'll already be 95% trained up by our training program. And all you have to do is help them out, answer their questions. And that's why you get a percentage, right? You get a manager's fee over their productions, right? For actually working with people and helping out your friends, realistically. Now, I want to make clear to you, you do not have to have anyone under you. You do not have to do this, right? And people usually start with that after making a substantial amount themselves. 10K a month is kind of the benchmark, right? And you can get up to 50K a month or even beyond that people have done, okay, just by your own production, just by yourself, right? Now, in just a minute here, I'll show you how to also get automatic people under you, okay? So you get to an automatic growth curve towards semi-passive income. And that is where within our program, we staff them under you after we get you to 10K a month, which is our guarantee, okay? So listen, at this point, if this resonates with you, right, and you feel a surge of fucking energy, like, hey, this could be my purpose, this could be my path that I'm gonna commit myself to, then you find yourself in the exact same position, right, as I did years ago when I saw that video that I told you about. And because up until this point, it is not your fault you're not rich yet, okay? You simply weren't aware of the right opportunity. But now, as we just agreed on, you are. And that gives you two options at this exact moment in time. And that is number one, right? Ignore reality. Be like, this might be cool, but it's probably a scam, or it's probably not worth it, or it's probably not as good as they say, even though I've showed you a ton of proof, right? And curve it to the side. But you always have it lingering in the back of your mind. Or what you're gonna do is you're gonna take the actual red pill and accept reality and see the proof of what it is and actually move towards success and not listen to your comfort zone body that's gonna wanna hold you in the exact same spot you've been in for however long of a time it's been. Okay, and after having coached many entrepreneurs, okay, and literally 8-figure entrepreneurs, etc., and people in general, I can tell you, your body will tell you to stay in the exact same position, okay, because it always does. And the reason for that is because it optimizes for safety. It optimizes for what is currently familiar, even if it's shitty, even if it's painful. To your brain, it doesn't want to do anything that's new, even if it might deem it as more pleasurable or better, okay? Because once again, that's a new path, which makes it unsafe. This is all evolutionary psychology, and you can look this up. And that's why this article in Psychology Today says, don't listen to your lizard brain. Use your feelings of discomfort and fear as your compass for success, not as your compass for what not to do, okay? Because that's the thing that's gonna move you up, which is dangerous for yourself, but it's actually good for you, okay? But if you're still here now, let's be honest, you're probably a person that prioritizes their growth over feeling fucking comfortable, okay? I'm just gonna shoot you straight. And that leaves you here. So with that assumption, you are gonna do something about this. So the only choice left is, are you gonna do this alone? right, and figure everything out yourself? Or are you gonna go at this with the best training, community placement, and resources out there? And I can guarantee that. Okay, so going at this alone, maybe you're able to, okay? But everything is gonna take way longer. You're gonna get wrong structures, wrong compensations, no automatic team building, all of that stuff, okay? Or you can stack the deck in your favor and have us have your back and do this together, okay? Because every successful person ever had a mentor. They invested in mentors. Many successful people say the best investment is not the S&P 500, it's not crypto, it's not Bitcoin, it is in your skills and in yourself. So with that being said, you got to understand that ultimately your biggest cost in life is the cost of what you could be doing right now but aren't yet, okay? Both financial and emotional. The biggest interest you'll ever pay is the interest you're paying for not making what you could be making right now, okay? And the proof is in the pudding, guys. It's very doable for you to make 10K a month after 90 days and way beyond after you hit that foundational point. So let me show you how with us. And with that being said, I'm gonna introduce you to the Insurance Leadership Program, okay? It's a one-on-one program plus done-for-you elements that I'm gonna take you through right now. And the tagline here is get to 10 to 20K a month in 90 days guaranteed, or we help you for free until you do. So obviously the guarantee is that we help you for free if you don't get to it. We can't guarantee you do anything, right? Because maybe you're gonna call 2 people in 90 days. But that is our guarantee. And if you do hit it, we're gonna take you to 20 to 30K a month in the 90 days after that by staffing people under you automatically. That's why we're doing this program, because we have so many agents. We have such a big brand with our various people that we have all these agents. So we wanna create leaders with guaranteed results that we're gonna place people under so that you're gonna be in a manager position, which is a win for you, okay? So get trained, get a group of winners around you, and most importantly, as I just said, get the 10 to 20K a month in the next 90 days guaranteed. And if you do, then we get you to 2030 in the following 90 days using automatic team building. Now you can get to 2030 easily by your own personal production, but I'm keeping numbers conservative here, right? Adding these things to it. So if you do not get to at least 10K a month with our program, we will help you for free until you do, and that's a guarantee. Okay? If you do hit 10K a month, we'll build a team under you, allowing you to get that semi-passive income towards 20 to 30K a month and far beyond. Because you got to understand, the people that we place under you, they might build their own teams as well. And now you're really growing. It has a feedback loop, an upward spiral effect. So as I said before, these are the average numbers of our students, okay? We already went through that. But after month 4, right, the team building starts once you hit 10K a month, as I said, right? And that's where you can get to the real numbers without even spending more time. So month 4, you can expect 10 to 20, right? Depending on obviously also if you growing in your personal production as well, in addition to the team building. Month 5, 20, right? And month 6 and beyond, you can really start to get to those 20 to 30K months, all right? So look, if that seems like a lot or it seems like big promises or whatever, then the program layout that I'm about to show you will show you why, okay? Because you might think, okay, you guys are telling me that these sales aren't that hard, that, within life insurance, it's something that people want and people need, but then how does it make sense that you get paid so well for this job? And that these students that you guys have are making so much money if it's such a relatively simple job. Now, I'm not saying easy, because you have to hustle, you have to work. This is not a passive income thing, even though you can get to that point where you're making semi-passive and residuals, but this is hard work. I never say it's not hard work, because I don't want those kinds of people joining, because that is where you get in trouble with these guarantees. We're gonna have to help all these people that are not doing any work, and that's not gonna work. But with that being said, I wanna show you why, right? Because within life insurance, there are no programs like this, like what I'm showing you here, where it's a hands-on mentorship with everything. Within life insurance, it usually is kind of like starting your whole own business. You have to figure out the leads, you have to figure out your own script, there's no training, etc., etc., etc. And we have really optimized and tested and spent thousands of hours and a lot of money to make this happen, okay? We filled every pothole an agent can have, okay? So with that being said, then your responsibility is just to implement the feedback and make the actual amount of dials you need to make. Okay, so let's go from the most basic to the main parts of the program to show you what it would look like to actually work together on a one-on-one basis, plus done for you, to get to those guarantees that we've mentioned. So the first thing I'm gonna take you through is very basic, right? So it's just the bonus things that you get here, which is the full A to Z video program. Now it's very good, but I'm just saying these are the basics. So module 1 is foundations and the road to 50 or more, 100,000 a month, okay? And so that's gonna show you the numbers and the KPIs you need to hit to get to those things, how many team members will equal that, and those kinds of things. Module 2 is mindset. So in mindset, the biggest thing that we're gonna do is essentially set up your subconscious mind so that it is pointing in the same direction as your conscious goals. Because what a lot of people have is all these conscious goals pointing there, but their subconscious mind is pointing that direction. And they're having this push-pull direction, and you can never achieve your goals as the person that you currently are. Otherwise, you would already have them, okay? And so the reason that we have to do this is, like I told you previously, with the reptile brain, right? With the evolutionary psychology concepts of your brain wanting to stay the same. If you're essentially still in the same mindset and still the same person, then you cannot move comfortably towards this direction, because that person is going to be pulling you back. So we're going to literally rewire using hypnosis. I've been paid, 50, 100 grand for coaching for a year on mindset, because that's what I did before this, okay? Then module 3, sales, confidence, and general communication masterclass. So this also ties in to your general confidence, general communication skills, etc. And then from there, we're going to go into real depth, okay, on insurance sales mastery. Everything that you could possibly know about insurance sales, tonality, deal structure, offering 2 options, objections, everything is laid out, okay? That's going to be Nick that's giving that. The module 5 is operational mastery. So how do you structure your day? Or how do you do all those things? And what does your day-to-day look like? Which, by the way, is very simple. You click on a button, your thing starts dialing. You don't dial everybody, blah, 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 one by one. It's just an automatic system, and then people pick up the phone automatically, okay? And then you just have a conversation. You read the words, the script word for word, and then it automatically goes to the next conversation, whether you close or not, okay? It's a very fluid, easy process. And once again, Nick said all the numbers that he achieved was without all of those systems, without all of those tools that we custom build to spend a lot of money on, without all of that, okay, without any training, without the right leads, etc. And he still did those numbers. And so right now, like, he literally had to go on his phone, pick up, okay, right, and then go to the next one. It takes a fucking lot of time, and it's really annoying to do. So then module 6 is scaling, right? So I'm going to show you how to run your social media to, become, create a small personal brand that you can leverage into different things, but also growing your sales insurance team if that's what you want to do. Team building mastery. I'm even going to show you how to run low budget ads so that you can get people in, etc. But once again, you don't need this, because we're already going to recruit and staff under you automatically, okay? So with that being said, here's a layout of our WAP, okay? This is how it's structured, and these are some of the modules that you can see. And there's a lot in there, okay? The videos are all super high quality with screen share or with whiteboard. And there, as you can see, this video is 40 minutes long. Videos are extremely detailed long, etc., okay? Resources like scripts, tested over thousands of calls and iterations that you just have to go from word for word. It's already optimized for you. Then we have a done-for-you tech setup, okay? So my personal team sets up your tech, sets up your systems, and that will be done for you within the first week by my own team, okay? All your software is paid for by us. There's no hidden cost, no bullshit, okay? Set up in a way where all you need to do is plug in, click the call button, and as I said before, it just starts ringing, 5 people at the same time. Someone picks up, you run through the script, hangs up, goes to the next one, etc., okay? And then it hangs up the other ones. It makes it an automatic process where you're just sitting back, relaxing, obviously you're doing work, but you're sitting back and you're waiting for people to pick up the phone. Very short, okay? Instead of like having to wait 30 minutes before you get someone on the phone. Then a very important part is the Wolves of Insurance Network, okay? You'll join a private Discord full of 10 to 50K a month for producers. For example, the guys that you saw in the video, where basically you're gonna have back and forth, you're gonna have networking, you're gonna have in-person meetups, all of that cool stuff. You're gonna have group calls, accountability, all of that, okay? Once again, 2 to 3 group calls per week. These are super lit, okay? We do these group calls, we do exercises together, we do role plays, we do coaching on different elements. Actually, we're about to have one later today. And you get also in-person meetups, as I said, right, through America, or even, retreats to, for example, Colombia, once you achieve certain milestones, etc. As a leader, you'll get also a private WhatsApp group with the other leaders from the leadership program, okay? So that is the exclusive access you have with me and Nick in that group of leaders, all right? Then, an important thing here, guys, is you want to get into a network that doesn't allow you to fail. Like in our network, we have these kinds of things. As you can see on the screen, I'm hitting my first 20K, or I'm buzzing, right? Buzz cut. As you saw, Nick got a buzz cut because he set the example for the team. And I was like, hey, I'm working with what I got here. My hair is not, too voluptuous anymore, so I'm going to keep what I got. But anyways, Joseph was joining in, right? So it's that kind of a fucking network, that kind of a hustle group, okay? And if that resonates with you, then that is what you want to join into. So those are essentially bonuses, all right? So now let's get into the actual main part of it. So you're gonna get one-on-one mentorship with Boyd and Nick, okay? So you get on-demand one-on-one Zooms with Boyd and Nick with a max of 1 hour per week for each. You're gonna get our calendar link, and you can book in whenever you want with a max of 1 hour a week, all right? Calls with Nick are gonna be specific to insurance sales to really have you master that, right? Do call reviews, deal structure, cover anything you need, okay? Calls with Boyd are mostly gonna be in the back end of the program, once you already hit the 10K a month, and then we're gonna really talk about how to build your business, how to grow your team, and how to manage the recruits that we're placing under you, okay? So it's gonna be on leadership, mindset, and team building, or social media, running ads, whatever, if you wanna do those things, right? It also depends on how ambitious you are. Additionally, ongoing support, right? You'll also get both Nick and Boyd's personal phone number and a group chat with both of them on WhatsApp or iMessage, okay? So that you can have that back and forth, and you'll get same-day responses. You can send memos back and forth. You can send calls in, or Nick can actually request you to send calls in, and he'll, review and feedback them using a tool called Loom.com, if you're familiar. It's just a screen recording. He's gonna pause it, say, hey, here's your tonality, that's off. Here you wanna give this option, not that option, etc. And that way we can really ensure your success, because we're literally seeing, okay, you're doing the numbers, you're doing this conversation in this way, your tonality is right, this and that is right, okay, this should work. Or, oh, here's where it's leaking in this bucket. Let's put a fucking duct tape on it, fix the bucket, and now you're actually going towards KPIs. And that's why we can guarantee results here. Now, this all mainly is to get you prepped up for the last part, and that is the biggest benefit and the biggest part of this program, and I know you're gonna love it, which is automatic team building into semi-passive income. Not incoming, okay? I don't know what the fuck I put there. Like explained before, we have too many inbounds to handle and manage directly. So we created this program to create leaders to manage teams, right? But you're gonna make a hell of a lot of money extra for that without even having to get your own team, okay? And these are people that are also qualified, etc. So after you reach 10K a month, we will start automatically staffing people under you so that you can get to the semi-passive income automatically, okay? Because that just ensures that you can get to that point that you really want to get to. Your income will not grow linear, it grows exponentially, because you'll be in a position of leverage where you'll get a manager's fee, which is a percentage of what your team produces, okay? Now, here's a very important part. You're gonna be able to license the foundational program for free. Like the bonus section that I said, which is the course, the community, the group calls, and the actual Discord, is gonna be able to be licensed to you, okay? So that means that you get the full video course, Discord and group network, the group calls and in-person meetings, and you can get that licensed to your people. So that means that you don't have to train them up foundationally. We do all of that. The only thing you do is you just manage the team, okay? So you do the one-on-one calls, and you answer messages, and you be on Zoom with your team during producing days, kind of motivating them, right? Setting the tone, etc. And basically, the biggest part of this is just motivational, right? It's just motivating your team, and obviously we're staffing people under you that are similar to your archetype, right? Whether you're an older person, younger person, guy, girl, whatever, we're gonna staff the people under you that match with you, so that it's kind of like a friend group essentially. And that we do that for your fun, but mostly because that is the most effective thing, right? So all the other shit, tech setup, I forgot to mention that. Even the tech setup is done for you, right? The training, etc. That's licensed and handled by us, by our team, and by the resources that we already have, okay? So that makes it very, very simple for you, and that really ensures the success not only of you, but of your team members as well. So as I alluded to earlier, this is why we give you so much here. We are incentivized to make you win so that you can be a leader, because that's the original idea. That's where the original idea came from to start this program, so that we can create leaders, because leaders need one-on-one coaching, real support, automatic recruiting, and everything that I've already mentioned here. And that's why we're able to give you so much. Now, obviously, there's an investment tied to this, right? Obviously, this is not free, but still, this is way more than you would usually get for the investment that this will be, okay? So, concluding this program, there's only two paths this can go. One is you don't get to the 10K a month in 90 days, right? And then what happens is we keep helping you with the exact same level of service until you do. Obviously with the connotation that you're actually making the amount of dials. So if you make 2 dials in 90 days, obviously that doesn't fucking fly. Now the second option, even though it says one as well, is you get to 10K a month in 90 days. What happens then? We start staffing agents under you, and we keep helping you to run your team. And that is really where the back end 90 days starts to get you to 20, 30K a month. And these are all just numbers that we've actually we are basing off of experience here, okay? So then the one-on-one support will remain active. The entire program will remain active, but it's on demand. It's not necessarily weekly calls, and it's mostly gonna be with me at that point, because I'm gonna be helping you with the leadership element of all of this, all right? So the only way for you to really fail is if you don't make the amount of calls that's set out for you, or you plain don't follow the program or quit, right? Which, if that is a thought in your mind, you probably shouldn't do this anyway, because I don't want you to waste your money, your time, or your efforts, okay? Which probably gonna be non-existent at that point. So if you know that won't be you, let me ask you the following, okay? Does this resonate with you? If it does, and you do wanna find out if this path makes sense for you, you don't have to have decided that up front, right? But if you wanna really brainstorm together with me, and you wanna see, hey, with my situation, with my availability, with my current skill level, with where I'm coming from, whatever it may be, is this something that makes sense? Is this something that's realistic? Because obviously we have a guarantee, so we have to like qualify people to make sure that we can actually uphold that, all right? So if you want to scroll below this video, you're gonna find a calendar option that you can select the time to speak with me personally over Google Meet, okay? And you're gonna be able to fill out a little survey so I know a little bit about you before hopping on the call and see if it actually makes sense to hop on that call, so make sure you fill that out properly. And what we'll do in that call is really get an idea. I'll get an idea of your personality, your goals, your availability, and help find out with you, right? If you could actually do this and actually get to at least 10K a month in the next 90 days to be able to then go further. Why? Because first of all, that's our goal with you, our selfish goal, right? Because we want to create the leaders. And secondly, if we guarantee that, we can only accept people that we think are really going to be appropriate to get to that point, okay? So if we think you can, if I think you can, we'll walk you through the program, walk you through the details once more, and what it would look like exactly step by step to work together, and how all of that works, and then we'll potentially invite you to join, and obviously you can see if that makes sense from your side. So as I said earlier on with the insurance sales, right? We like to apply the same mentality of how we sell the insurance to how we work with this program. It's us sitting on the same side of the table, looking at this and seeing, hey, does this actually make sense for you, right? And if something else makes more sense, or if you're a very introverted person or whatever, maybe it doesn't make sense, okay? And so that's how we're gonna look at it on the call and then see, right, what could be possible for you in a realistic time frame based on your availability, those kinds of things. So we'll tell you the numbers that we think you could potentially hit together with our help. Okay, so bear in mind that we literally guarantee placement, guarantee results, guarantee automatic team building under you, guarantee numbers, and therefore actually have limited spots. And also, not unimportant, do one-on-one calls every single fucking week. So quite literally, only from a time perspective, there are limited spots, all right? Additionally, guys, we really are looking for the best people to get into this program who we think have that leadership potential, okay? So those are no bullshit sales techniques. I'm just being completely transparent with you as to what we're looking for, what the position is that we're in, which is frankly a position of abundance, and that's the exact position we want to get you in, all right? So with that being said, we can also only accept people we truly think we can get our guaranteed results, okay, as I just mentioned before. So if you feel like this could be your path, then obviously don't procrastinate. Don't listen to the comfort part of your brain that wants you to just stay the same, push that shit to the side and do it later, which means do it never, right? Take right action. And that's something you can fucking write down. Anytime that you're faced with a decision, there's always the right thing to do and there's the comfortable thing to do. And usually they are the exact opposite of each other, okay? So with that being said, I hope to speak to you very, very soon. And honestly, if we don't, then I hope this video, regardless, helped you out just a little bit, because that is my mission, to help the other people that follow my content, that see my stuff, achieve a similar level of results and raise their own fucking standard. I'll talk to you on the call.